Today we're going to do KOSHCHEI in Hell, issue number 3 of 4 by Dark Horse Comics, made by Mike Mignola, Ben Stenbeck, and Dave Stewart. So yeah, let's go in. In the last issue, we saw what happened. Was pretty great. So KOSHCHEI is, having a bottle here, and there is a voice, and he says, "The last demon, I think so. Set me free, and I swear I will serve you." And he says, "What do I need a demon for? And what's with all the snakes? The souls of the damned, the witches gather them and sacrifice them to their master." "What master? Satan is dead. They worship the one who was before and will be again." And they talk about Pluto. And it seems that they are sacrificing him so that he becomes strong and, take his throne in hell and all that stuff. And so it seems that this little guy knows something and wants to help KOSHCHEI to reach his goal. And KOSHCHEI wants to kill the witches, before that happens. But he says there's a lot of them. He asking the demon. He says, "Yes, set me free and I'll show you." And also says, this demon says, "Well, they starved me for 500 years. I am almost nothing. I cannot even hurt you even if I wanted to. So you don't have to fear me." And but KOSHCHEI says, "I know I dealt with demons before, and I'm no fool. And only a fool takes a demon at his word. But still, he is curious," he says. And then this little guy comes out. He's indeed very small, very, almost insignificant. And so this little demon asks for a blood. But KOSHCHEI, a little bit cautious, he says, "Well, lead me to the witches, and when I'm done with them, I'll give you 1 drop." And so the little guy agrees with that, but he says, "Hey, you need weapons." And said, "Do you have any suggestions?" And he says, "Well, in 500 years, the sisters scavenged all sort of things off this beach. I'm sure you'll find something in there." So he opens the door up, and then, I don't know, Shaggy Man comes out, I guess. But, KOSHCHEI just stabs him, and he's dead. And it seems that this guy was the father of the witches that he killed on the beach. And, he knows a lot of things immediately. It's very convenient because this guy was, being held in a cave, and he says, "Well, maybe he, got out somehow." Yeah, right. So he says to KOSHCHEI, "Hey, go in and take what you want." And he says, "Nah, I'm gonna take this axe." And they are going towards the goal. And this little guy explains what happens. It seems that he was that this family, the father and 2 daughters, they sold themselves to the devil, to Satan. And when they found out, they've been, burned at the stake. And he thought that he was then free of them because he was their familiars. But even in death, they made it so that this little guy, was still serving them, although he can do nothing anymore. And so it seems that the population or something, the sisters, the other ones, are blamed him for what happened, and they put him in a bottle. And so he wants to know what his story was. But, KOSHCHEI is a little bit cautious still, and he says, "It's none of your business." Okay, moving on. So meanwhile, somewhere in hell, a lot of these witches are burning these snakes because they are souls, and they are praying to Pluto, because they want to resurrect them. And then they notice something, they feel something, or smell something. And it's none other than, this guy is Igor Bromhead, and he's been mentioned in Hellboy comics before. And Igor explains that he has seen pandemonium. Gamori is no more. Pluto is deaf to your prayers, blind to your offerings. The way between Tartarus and hell is closed, sealed with a tree. And KOSHCHEI says, "Well, I did that." And you say, "Who's this guy?" "Well, it's Igor Bromhead." So this little piece of shit shouts somewhere, "Hey, everybody, look over here. Here's the man responsible. He's come now to kill you all." And they all turn around. He says, "Now it's your turn." What a piece of shit. And so yeah, these witches are pissed off, and he made the joke from, "Hey, I scared them. This will give you the advantage. I'll deal with you later," he says. And then a very cool action scenes is gonna follow, and this looks great. And this little demon, he's being a coward. He says, "I'll wait over here," and then this is happening. This looks awesome, and he's being overwhelmed, but he is, Koshchei the damned, Koshchei the devil, Koshchei the deathless. He fights back, and he fights hard. He's a killer, and he's relentless. But the witches fight back, but it's all for naught. Because look at this intensity that he has. It looks freaking fantastic. I mean, it's 3-4 pages with no dialogue, just pure butchering the wicked, if you will. And oh, damn, this looks so awesome. And he kills the remaining witches. And I wonder, let me stop that question for a second. So after this, Igor comes and attacks Koshchei. Koshchei hacks away at his body, and Igor says, "Well, it's your fault. You're ruining everything." And then he's get this axe in his head. This looks great. And he dies. And I was wondering, what happened? Where do you go if you are being killed in hell, if that's even possible? Well, this is hell. It is possible, it seems. But where do you go? I mean, is there an afterlife after the afterlife? How does that work? Or maybe you just, I don't know, how do you say, go into the void or something like that, maybe there's no afterlife. I'm just curious about these things, Cool, pretty cool. Koshchei is, he's tired. He's very tired. He says, "I don't think I've been ever this tired after I fought Baba Yaga and Hellboy." But then the demon says, "It's all right. That was a lot. You rest and I'll watch over you." And he says, "Just a moment." And then, let's look up at his face. You know what's going to happen. So he wakes up and he says, "You swore one drop." And he's, enjoying the sun up. How does that work if you are in hell? How does there's probably some, I don't know, is there weather? Is there a rotation of the earth? How does that work? I'm not sure. I'm just curious. So the devil says here, or maybe one of the devils says, "A demon is just a demon. You must know this would happen. And only a fool would take a demon at his word. I think you did know. I think maybe you even wanted this to happen." And then they did a Tekken here. That's a PS2 game reference when the father throws his son into a volcano. I'm not going to bore you with that, but this exactly this scene. On the PlayStation, by the way. He says, "I know you can die, but there must be something, some kind of ending." So he, throws him to the water with all these skeletons and bones. And even for you. And then these, I don't know, abyssal monsters, and they swallow him. What an ending. This is cool. Well, not an ending. Well, a nice cliffhanger. Like I said, where do we go from here? What's going to happen? How does he regain his strength and all that stuff? I'm very impressed with this comic. The storytelling is very good, in my opinion, of course. And Ben Stenbeck's art. Come on, guys. This is really cool. One issue to go. Guys, let me know what you think about it. I'm very curious about your opinions. And see you next time. Bye-bye.